Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Ironman. That welcome back is not just exclusively for you, the viewer, but also me, because I've been out of town for a few days, and then got hit by a really nasty cold while traveling back in, which knocked out my voice for a while, so I am just now hopping on and playing some Ironman for the first time in about a week. What I'd like to get started with is doing some questing, because we are right at that 50 quest point marker, and at the 75 quest points we get yet another clue scroll item and another chunk of change. So what I want to do is check out some of the quests that have been released within the past 6 or 7 years, most of which I've never done before. And apparently there are two quests that relate to Violet here, both of which award XP lamps that you can use in any skill and is a really nice way to get some early game herb lore XP. I might be taking the coward's way out here and making the puzzle in Violet is Blue easier already because I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea how to get past these massive snowballs. I tried using the surge ability, but of course Jagex thought of that one, and that's not something that you can use in this area. Okay, just finishing up the most wholesome quest in the game, and there it is. So we get a few XP lamps, which is really nice, but one of the best rewards for this quest is you get a bank chest right here and a bonfire right here. Now obviously there's other bonfires in the game that you can unlock, in Prifddinas for example. However, at least early in the game, this is a really good spot to do some fire making. Because you can just withdraw your logs and bonfire here and just be ultimate laziness without having to even light your own bonfires. So those lamps were 1k herb XP each, so after using all three, that gets us all the way up to level 22. Next is Once Upon a Slime. This is a pretty new quest. I think it was 2020 when it came out. Just another one that I haven't done before. I was really confused because this quest kept making mention of like King Slime has terrorized Remington before and now he's back, and I had no idea what they were talking about. So apparently they had a slime community day back in 2018. So I don't know how many of you were aware of this. This definitely was not something that was on my radar at the time though. Alright, well that was a weird one. We get a little bit of cooking XP, which unfortunately isn't all that useful because I've already cooked enough to the point where 2500 XP is not setting the world on fire. Although it is enough to push us over one level. Oh, and this is also technically the first pet on the account. Oh yeah, and despite mentioning that there's two Violet is Blue quests, I may have ran off and done that slime quest and completely forgot about it. But we're going to do it now, because apparently you get 3 more lamps at the end of this one. So we kind of replaced that big bonfire in the middle of town that was going to be really nice for trading fire making with a Christmas tree. I don't know if it comes back at the end of the quest, but I hope so. Okay, that one's done too. 3 more lamps. Oh, and these are juicy ones, 4k XP each. That is going to be a lot. So 12k Herblore XP is going to get us, I think we're at 22. That's going to get us all the way up to 32. So we're just finishing up a dungeon here, which may not seem interesting or significant, but I had a daily challenge, and I also had a combat and a crafting one, so I was able to do all 3 of them just in this one floor. Check it out. Efficiency. And I did miss out on most of the rewards for this week, but thankfully there was no Death Touch Dart in the rotation this week. I thought that it was just going to be the same every week, and you could just stack up a bunch of Death Touch Darts and then do like 30 next kills in a single trip solo, and that would have been awesome, but no, it looks like the rewards do get switched up every week. Time for another quest. I wanted to do Recruitment Drive because it gives a pretty decent chunk of both agility and herblore XP, which will be very much welcome at these relatively lower levels. And of course you don't start that quest at Certifi, you start it in the White Knight Castle. With some of these you can just tell this puzzle was clearly designed back in a day where everyone didn't just, have an easy snipping tool to take a screenshot available. Also, I just get the feeling that one of the Gower brothers must have really enjoyed his chemistry class in secondary school or something, because this is not the only early quest they have where there's like a chemistry puzzle. Okay, there's Recruitment Drive done. We get 1k Herblore, Agility, and Prayer. Those are all 3 super useful skills. And then also we have access to Initiate Armor. I'm probably not going to buy a full set of it. I'll just wait until we unlock Proselyte. Okay, the next quest I want to try out is called You Are It. It was, I think 2018 is when it came out, and it's kind of like related to clue scrolls. And the reward for this quest is you get a bunch of clue scrolls. Okay, that finishes up a very interesting and lore-heavy quest. And you get a few clue scrolls from completing it. I still have yet to do a clue scroll on this account, and I will at some point. There's just so much else to do first. Okay, and here's Death Plateau. I totally meant to do this quest when I was around the Berthorpe area doing like the tutorial stuff, and I must have just completely forgot, but oh well, that one's done. Also, since we're here in the area, I think I might as well do my first ever troll invasion. I'll do fighting this time, although the repairing isn't a bad option if you're doing the 20 rounds of the fighting, because that takes quite a while, and the repairing is pretty easy to do. But also, once you do the 20 rounds, you can, in the future, do that quote-unquote hard version. It's not necessarily hard, but you get to do 7 rounds instead, and it's a lot faster. Okay, yeah, doing the full troll invasion kind of takes a while. That was a long one. But this should be some fat herblore XP. So let's chuck it in herb, see how much we get. About 9k. Not exactly lighting the world on fire. I guess it is quite a bit at this stage, though. So we get 4 herblore levels, up to 37. I decided to do one piercing note for the next quest. I've always kind of enjoyed this one. It's just a well-written quest in my opinion, and also I don't know why, but I always forget who the culprit was, so it's always a bit of a surprise in the end. But anyway, that one's done. We got some sweet prayer bonus robes, which are probably going to be our best in slot until we get some proselyte. Okay, next up is that one whale scene from Ocarina of Time. Song from the Depths. Obviously, we're a long ways off of killing QBD, because the main reward from this quest is you take reduced damage from QBD's fire breath attacks and stuff. However, it's going to be nice just to have this one done, so we don't have to worry about it in the future. Okay, here's the official quest complete, and then also, the reward actually isn't as bad as I thought, because according to the wiki anyway, Remora's necklace is now unlimited teleports to the mature grotworm area. Maybe it always has been and I'm just dumb, but I thought this used to be limited. But being able to teleport directly to the QBD entrance and then to the Grotworms for Slayer tasks, that's actually pretty sweet. Okay, I just finished up with Shadow over Ashdale. As to why I did the quest, I don't really know. It unlocks a little D&D where you can kill the boss from the quest. I think it's once a week. And for doing that, you get some black pearls, which are bonus XP in any skill that you want. Let's see how much. Should I put it in herblore? That's probably the best one. It is one of my higher skills. I would get a lot more XP in construction, obviously, but I think I'll just put it in herblore and see how much we get. It looks like each of these pearls is going to be 3k. So, not terrible, but it is kind of an annoying distraction diversion to do, so I don't know how often I'll do it. Okay, update on Anachronia Island. I've been working on gathering enough resources to build the Tier 2 Town Hall, because it allows you to build new buildings. And also, apparently, it attracts new visitors to the island. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming people like the Slayer Master, who I can see is now here. And there should be a scattered few, shop kind of people who are also on this island now. So I'm working on creating some light sources just for exploring caves, because my current Slayer assignment requires me to go into the Lumbridge Swamp Caves. And I built my oil lanterns but reached the roadblock of needing 26 crafting. And of course, we are on 25 right now. So I could just do probably one Dungeoneering floor and do the Dungeoneering crafting method to get it, or we could do a couple quests that reward crafting XP, and I'd rather do the latter. Okay, here's Gunner's Ground done. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough crafting XP to get us to 26, so I might have to do another one. We got only 300 crafting XP, and we got some swanky boots. Okay, I'm just finishing up Elemental Workshop, and in hindsight, to be honest, if you want crafting XP from a quest, this should be the first one you go to, not Gunner's Ground, because you get 5,000 crafting and smithing. But oh well, we got a couple more quests done. Okay, it's finally time to upgrade from sheep. I've been breeding sheep for a while. They're decent beans, but we can get better beans. And to do that, we just need a large pen deed. And I'll have to build myself a large pen, and then I can start breeding cows and bulls. But in order to build a large pen, we do need rune nails and mahogany planks. Which makes sense, it's the highest tier of pen. Of course, it would require materials that are a little bit harder to get. But I was looking up all the locations of mahogany trees in the game, and the only one that doesn't require some kind of quest that I haven't done yet and don't quite have the requirements for is the Hardwood Grove in Taibawani. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to get some trading sticks. And I'd prefer not to have to do the Taibawani cleanup minigame, because it's just kind of a pain.
Okay, it was time for a wand and orb upgrade from Batwing because we are now over level 40 magic. I was about to head into Mauritania to chop some bark from hollow trees, but then I found out Zafir and Varrock just sells the bark for 1 GP each. This is the peak of laziness. It's always easy to find the split bark person because it's just the one person in the castle who's wearing a weird outfit. And why can't we make a wand? Oh, you need 40 crafting in rune crafting. I thought it was magic in rune crafting. Well, I am nowhere near 40 crafting quite yet. We're still at 30, so we might have some work to do here. So many of you probably already know that one of the better ways to train really early game crafting on Ironman is in Dungeoneering, just by buying the proto leathers and then making leather bodies. However, I want something just a little bit more long term that we can rely on, so it will require a couple of steps. But step one is going to be to do a bit of Dungeoneering. Okay, hopefully I have enough tokens now. I just got up to level 36 Dungeoneering. I think we started at 28. As always, doing Dungeoneering on an early account solo is kind of painful just because of the way that some of the bosses scale. They can be quite difficult to kill. But we have exactly enough tokens. This is what I wanted. The gem bag, it only costs 2,000 and we have 2,200. I'm going to buy that. Now it's on to the crafting method. So my method of choice for crafting is just going to be mining these gem rocks here in the Alcarid mine. The uncommon ones can give sapphires, emeralds, rubies, diamonds. I don't believe they can give dragon stones, but maybe. And it's pretty good XP because you just fill up your gem bag. I think it can hold a total of 100 gems in your inventory. So you go and bank 127 gems. Doesn't take that long, and it's really good XP once you start cutting them. So this is news to me. It may not be to anyone else. But there are different tiers of gem rocks, so the ones in Alcarid Mine only provide sapphires, emeralds, rubies, but there are better tiers of gem rocks, including ones that you can get up to dragonstones with, but those are on Lunar Isle or in the Calgarian Resource Dungeon. So mining the higher tiers of gem rocks is probably the long-term plan for crafting, but in the short term, these ones give mostly like sapphires and emeralds, and that's completely fine. I'm at only level 30. Okay, I'm just finishing up 40 crafting on some carapace that I had in my bank. But yeah, doing crafting with the gem method, it's going to work out long term, dude. I just did like 2 runs of it, and I think we banked about 30k XP. Just 2 runs to and from the mine to the bank, and didn't even take that long. And with that, we can now get our split bark wand and orb, which is great because that is a magic accuracy upgrade. And the reason why I wanted the split bark wand and orb upgrade in the first place was just to kill Jogers. I was having pretty terrible accuracy against them with the tier 30 wand and orb, and so the upgrade was necessary. But I need to kill Jogers because I need to get trading sticks because I need mahogany logs, and this is just how Ironman works. There's just strings connected to strings, and you need to unlock one thing to unlock the next thing to unlock the next thing that you need, and that's honestly why I love playing this mode. Okay, that should be plenty of mahogany planks for player on farm, at least for the near future. And then I'm also getting some teaks because I have a second construction thing I want to build as well. Okay, those mahogany planks were pretty pricey, and I've found myself in pretty desperate need of money at the moment. However, we don't have to do very more quests before we're going to get another infusion of cash. But the good news is we now have a cow in a bowl, and I'm going to start raising them so we can start breeding cows instead of sheep. Okay, I just finished up What's Mine is Yours. The initial reward for the quest isn't great, but you can do some tasks as your mining and smithing level get higher that give you like a bunch of bonus XP, so maybe I'll look into doing that later. Okay, finishing up another relatively early game quest. There's fishing contest done. Okay, since I do have the goal in mind of getting up to the 75 quest points because we need some cash, and that's the next tier at which we get another magical dice, I'm going to do a couple quests that give more than just 1 quest point for the reward so we can actually get there. First one is going to be Biohazard, and this is also the next quest in a long chain of quests that eventually lead to unlocking Priv, so it's an important one to get done anyway. This should be the end of Biohazard here, and the next quest in the chain is Underground Pass. I'm probably going to want to level up agility a bit more before I do that because doing Underground Pass with 35 agility, I've done it before. It's painful. It is not a good time. But we're up to 71 quest points now, and we got a couple thieving levels out of that one. I just finished up missing presumed death. I was in the area, so it seemed like a good idea. So the reward isn't necessarily crazy good now, but we do get the invitation box, which is a useful teleport to get up to this area. The next quest in this whole quest chain thing is going to be Rag and Bone Man. You know, why Rag and Bone Man? That's kind of a weird one. There's actually a reason for it. And honestly, one reason for it is I just really don't enjoy the Rag and Bone Man quest that much. And so now it's done, and I don't have to worry about it, ever again. But also, it was in this beginner section. So it just feels good to make this whole beginner section look all green. So now, we've reached our goal of 75 quest points. Okay, time to check in with May again, and we get our second to last tier 1 magical dice. So let's roll that one and see what we get. I think it's just cash and another quest reward. So we'll roll, and that should be another 250k. It is, and I have a plan for not all but a large portion of this money right away. And that plan is in the player-owned house. It's time to build a new room. Rooms are expensive, especially as you get up to the higher tier ones. The one that we want is the aquarium. So it's level 63 to build, which we have thanks to this incredible summer event we have going on. And it's also 200k cash, so that is over half of the money that we had left. But the reward is pretty good. So I'm going to build on the prawn broker hotspot, and we'll just get a prawn broker built. And so what this means is from now on we can get prawn perks while we're fishing. Or I should rephrase that. We can get eggs either through the fish that we're fishing or through opening up prawn balls, and those can reward eggs, and I can use those to get prawn perks. And the reason why it's important to get prawn perks unlocked is I have a goal when it comes to fishing and cooking and really collecting food, because that's the goal of fishing and cooking on an Ironman account. And that goal is one of the tier 3 prawn perks. You can fish without using any feathers anymore. Feathers aren't hugely expensive, but they are a resource that we use, and over the long term of getting 99 fishing, we use a lot of them. And the reason why I'm doing this now is because the goal for the near future, as in the next episode, is going to be to unlock Menaphos. I really want to explore the Menaphos city. I haven't spent much time there, as it came out during the period of time when I wasn't playing RuneScape. But one thing I do know about Menaphos is it has probably the best mid-tier fishing area in the game. You can fish a lot of fish that give good fishing XP and heal a decent amount of HP when you eat them. So they're great for Slayer training and low-level PVM, and they're basically going to be our food source for up until the point where we reach endgame. And although fishing isn't necessarily, the priority if you're trying to level up your account and progress and unlock, new gear tiers and everything. The reason why I want to prioritize it so much is because I have a lot of downtime that could be spent playing RS and AFK wait, but not necessarily a whole ton of active time. So I think fishing would be a really productive way to build up a food supply and also progress our accounts in a way that's very AFK and easy to do in Menaphos once we reach there. So I do need to unlock 52 fishing. That's the requirement for beginning Menaphos fishing, so I'm going to be working on that. And then we also need to do the Jack of Trades quest, the Jack of Spades quest. This is the quest that gives you access to Menaphos. Thankfully, there's no requirements for it other than the Diamond of the Rough, which we have already done, so that's what I will be starting out the next episode doing. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.